We will start. Let's start at the front. We'll start with Atlanta United.
Sure.
4 players in, 3 players out. In the door. Hold on one sec so I can get it organized properly.
Can't wait to see you pronounce this one.
Oh, yeah. I was going to make you do it, but you said you weren't having a good day, so I wasn't going to do that. In the
Well, I
door,
appreciate it.
on loan, forward Xande Silva, midfielder Tristan Muyumba, designated player striker Saba Labhandizai, Labhandizai. That's right. Connor's going to triple captain that guy every week for the next 4 years.
Joke's on you. There is no triple captain.
And then Jamal Thiare, a forward signed from Le Arve, 30 years old. Out the door, of course, Andrew Gutman over to Colorado. Marcelino Moreno's loan made permanent into Brazil. And the big news, Luis Araujo out to Brazil as well, Flamengo. Just want to know really quick for you, thoughts on the window, best move in, and then grade for the overall window. You can give me worst move out too, like which one you think is going to hurt you the most.
Ooh, I would say thoughts on the window is this just feels like the new norm for Atlanta, and that upsets me. It feels like every window, or I guess I'll say every year, just to be safe. For the last couple of years, it has felt like it is completely blow it up, bring in a bunch of new players, don't give them enough time to gel, players don't work out, blow it up, rinse and repeat, same thing all over again. You saw the same thing this window. The guys that came in showing little bits of flashes that they can be successful, but never really were healthy enough to do so, or just got the game time to do so, are sold, and we do it all over again. And it looks like the theme this year was to raid France. We raided like every level of France. It was like, I feel like it was like the first division, second division. I think even the third division was, I think that's where Xande Silva came from, what it looks like.
I got Dijon.
Yeah.
Him. And I think they're second.
When I click on their team on Transfer Market, it says they're third tier.
Really?
I don't know how accurate that is, but regardless, do I feel great about the window? No, I don't. Maybe I'm in the minority as an Atlanta fan, but I am just tired of seeing this team get blown up, bringing in a bunch of new faces. Nobody gets the time to click. Nobody pans out, and then we blow it up again. I don't know where the magic from the first few seasons has gone. I thought we did a really good job of finding good talent from the South American leagues. And I think even recently we've had success with that. I mean, Thiago Almada is a superstar. He's probably going to break the MLS transfer record for transfer out. And we just completely pivoted away from that. The one thing I will say about Atlanta, they have an uncanny ability to really like get a lot of money from guys that have just not panned out on the team at all. Like we talk all the time about South American Player of the Year, Pity Martinez, and how Atlanta was somehow still able to turn a profit on that. Luis Araujo, according to Transfer Market, they got 9 million euros for him, which is kind of crazy to think about. Yes, they still took a loss on it. So I think they said they brought him in for 11.5 million euros, but to make 9 million euros back off of that for a guy that just never got it going here, that's not too bad. I gotta say they're pretty good at selling. I gotta admit. But yeah, I don't like the transfer window. I just want to see some consistency from this team. I personally think the midfield is an area where we really need to address, and we barely did anything to address that. So if I had to give it a grade, and I know it's harsh, and I might just be being a pessimistic fan, but I'd give it like a D. I have not liked this window.
Wow. Just some notes. Dijon was relegated this season. So they did, I
From
believe
2 to 3 or
yep,
from 1 to 2?
from 2 to 3. So they went down 21 to 22.
Gotcha.
from 1 to 2, and they did a second straight relegation
It did a
to
Sunderland.
they did a Sunderland. Yep, playing with
Yeah.
the likes of Nimes, who I know from FIFA, playing with
Mhm.
Goal FC, great
That's a
name.
great name. Yeah.
Versailles, aka Versailles. That's a Kentucky joke. Um, listen, I agree with you. I think they have definitely pivoted out from this go raid South America and pay big, flip. But I also what I think that shows is how difficult it is to actually hit on those players. How many times have we come in and seen swing and a miss, swing and a miss, swing and a miss, right? So here, maybe it's because the European leagues feel a little bit safer because everybody watches, whatever it may be. There might be something in there. But the South American League is always hit or miss because, as we've seen, you're either getting a world beater or you're getting somebody who looks really good and then can adjust to the play. And that's for anybody, sure. But um, I just feel like in the South American players, I think it's been a lot tougher personally. Um, Good to see them add on that designated player slot for the striker there from Turkey. So hopefully he can come in, pair up with Gigi, Georgios,
Mhm.
Giacomakis, and do some good work there. Having that front three could be really good to have them back. That's my best transfer in. Do I think they're gonna not regret, but they're gonna feel the loss of Gutman the most. But even that isn't gonna be a bad one. I think Wiley will step in and be fine. I'm okay with this window. You've gotten a couple wide players. You've gotten a couple of attacking fixes. Your biggest issue, as I double check here to be sure, always to me was that back line. I think Moreno not being there was felt pretty hard. Maybe that they could have improved upon that, but yeah, you've got 39 goals conceded. That's the most in the league, right? Outside of Charlotte. And that's it. Charlotte's the only one who's beaten you there. So would have been nice to see them go and maybe pick up a couple more defensive minded players. I don't mind them going for the attack. It is MLS 4.0 after all. However, um, lots of players listed at forwards, and I think Tristan Muyamba's a wide.
Yeah, he's a defensive mid.
Oh, is he? Okay, that's a start. Um, yeah, I should have taken better notes than just midfield forward defense because that would have been nicer. Um,
Yeah,
no,
you're
that
good.
that's perfect, right? Because you're gonna have now in this team looking at their setup. You got Sajic, Sosa, Alonso, who's 37 now, so you've made it younger. You've given it a little bit more experience, and then you can rotate in Rossetto to fill that space, and then designated player, wing player, designated player, striker, designated player, attacker, looking like a rebuild close to um, the first year, right? With designated player, winger, designated player, attacking mid, designated player, striker, right? So they're building the team as expected. I'm okay with this. I don't think it's a knock me out of the park window. But I think they got better. I'll give them like a B minus C plus somewhere around there.
I I did forget to give my I guess best transfer in, worst transfer out.
Sure.
I am excited to see Sava come in. I think that's going to be someone that I think could definitely hit the ground running out of this group that we've brought in. I feel like he's got the best potential to come in and really hit the ground running. Uh, Worst one out for me, Franco Ibarra. I really thought he was gonna
Ah,
kind of break out a bit this year. Not necessarily break out. Like I don't think he'd become one of the best in the league, but I really thought this was going to be a good year for him. And I feel like he had a good start to the year. And then they loaned him out. And I know there was a reason. I can't remember why, but
it
I
was
feel
a
like
it was a roster rule thing. U22 signings,
okay, gotcha.
which is a
But
whole nother
yeah,
conversation we need to have about ways we want to see the rules changed.
I really wish he had stayed because I do not like this midfield at all. I know you mentioned the back line. I think there are good pieces in the back line, and there's certainly work to do back there. But I think Sosa has flopped, Brisetto has flopped. Alonso, like you said, is 37 coming off like a year-long injury. Sadic is decent, and that's all you got. So I think the midfield is in rough shape. I have no idea what to expect from Muyumba, but I am not super encouraged with the midfield situation. And I feel like it's needed help ever since Nagby left, and it has not been addressed.
No disagreements there. I think they know where it is, but I also think they recognize it is MLS 4.0. If you can score 7 goals and the other team scores 6, you still win the game. So,
That's
um,
true.